This is the 56 from Hartwood. Hartwood is the house brand from Gear for Music. They are all affordable guitars. And this green they've named Pickle, which just makes me laugh. One of my friends is called Pickle. It has a Bigsby-inspired vibrato, 2 humbuckers, a neck, a body, 6 tuners. And in this video, we're going to find out if it's any good. Now, out of the box, the Bigsby does not come set up. You have to put the spring in yourself. So the spring does come out, and to put it in, you just lift up the bar and pop it in like, come on baby, like so. There we go. And before I play it, I should point out this costs around 250 notes. So it is well in budget territory. And my first impressions are that it feels like an Epiphone from the 90s. And that's a good thing, because Epiphone were good in the 90s. So let's plug it in and I will see how the tuning experience is. Well, I tuned it twice and I pulled the strings out a little bit in between those 2 tunings. They're locking tuners and they're smooth as heck. They feel intermediate to high quality. These are not budget feeling tuners. The strings feel fine. I don't think they're a brand name, or are they? They do have different colored balls on them. I'm just checking the specs because I'm not sure it says anywhere what strings they have. But they do have the colored balls on like D'Addario's. They're not coated. Okay, so we've got tone, volume, 3-way selector. That pulls out, which will split our coils. And let's hear it through the Colt from Ace Amplification, which is a Plexi Marshally style amp. That middle position has something really special about it. I really dig that bridge. That's an aggressive bridge that is still clear. So there's lots of bite. And I know these words are ridiculous when we talk about guitars, but it's the bottom end is kind of not gone, but not overpowering. That top end is not too shrill either. That is a great sounding bridge pickup. The neck. Somewhat polite. And then in the middle, it's got this kind of spankiness to it. Now that feels and plays like a lot more than 250 notes. First impressions are, I'm quite shocked. I think this might be the best Hartwood guitar that I've played. And I was worried about the Bigsby style trem, which has a lovely H on the side just there. Notice I haven't gone anywhere near it yet because it reminds me of my friend's Epiphone SG, or the G400, that we played in bands in the 90s. And in that, if you even looked at the trem system, the guitar would go out of tune. So let's see if it wobbles a bit. I'm going to keep it in the middle. I like that position. I think it wasn't seated properly. I think the spring just went pop like that. Okay, I'm going to have to tune it again. Suddenly the spring is a lot more bouncy. It's not as tense as it was. Interestingly, it stayed in tune with itself. It's just dropped. That's a really good sign. Okay, let's tune again. Wow, I'm impressed by that. I shouldn't be, or rather, it's my fault it went out of tune, but To drop almost uniformly is a really good sign. Okay, almost uniformly. It still sounded good. Okay, now I'm going to test the vibrato, the handbrake, as it were. There's no popping, there's no clicking or jumping of the strings. They're not getting bound in the nut, which to me looks plastic. We'll go over the specs in a moment. The tuner seems to be doing a great job, and this, well, the whole thing, there's a roller bridge on it, of course. But that won't save everything. The fact that it's not getting bound here is a big deal. Often, I'd say almost always, guitars under about 500 notes with a Bigsby, I would steer clear of. But this one is really good. All right, all right. I'm going to be really unfair now. I'm going to dive bomb it. What? It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. That's insane. Time to tune again, but unfair that was, so ignore the fact that I've got to tune this right now. I'm extremely impressed. I was scared of that, and I was thinking that the whole review was going to go very, very negatively as soon as I touched that big handlebrake. Handlebrake? Handlebar. Handbrake. Let's go over the specs. This is the Hartwood 56, that's F-I-F-T-Y, and then the digit 6, Vibrato Pickle. And the body is a flame maple top over an alder body, which you can't see, of course, because it's painted black. This kind of reminds me of the photo flame finishes we used to get in the 90s. It might be flame maple. It looks nice. I really dig this as an aesthetic, but it doesn't scream flamed at me. Now, because it's flame, there are various degrees of flamage, and you might get a really flamey one. Oh no, in that angle there, can you see that angle? It's kind of tigery. But I dig this understated flame. We've of course got a double cutaway. The color is Pickle, which is a sort of trans green gloss. And then the neck is maple, which is set. That is a gloss finish, but it is not sticky. And I'm surprised that it's not sticky. Normally I would take some sort of scouring pad to a neck like this. It doesn't need it. It doesn't even feel plasticky or anything. It's a player's neck. The neck shape is a C, and I am a rather tall man, but this is a rather small guitar. It feels a lot smaller than a Les Paul. It feels more PRS size than a Les Paul Jr. The radius of this is 14 inches. We've got pearloid blocks over what fingerboard material is that? In the specs it says thermally treated maple ply. There are some sort of mineral deposits in it, but it looks really good. It feels great, as do the frets, which I'm not exactly sure what they are, but there's no fret end problems. There is nothing wrong with that at all. That is performing like a guitar twice its price. This is not a plastic nut. It is a Graphtec new bone nut, which is not the tusk material that I really like, but it's a little bit more than just sticking a wedge of plastic on there. Now, although this may look like a Gibson-style guitar, it has a Fender-style scale length on there. This is 25.5 inches, which is why the headstock feels a bit further that way. It makes it feel more like an SG. And as a lover of SGs, it feels like home. It kind of is a mix between a Les Paul and an SG and a PRS, but it does feel small at the nut, and that's 43 millimeters. So it's kind of stratty up here as well. Back to the specs, we do indeed have locking tuners. They're not branded with anything, but they're certainly doing a fantastic job. Then we've got the Tune-o-matic style bridge with a vibe roller bridge there, and then this Bigsby style or vintage vibrato with an H embossed just there, or possibly printed. As for the pickups, I don't know what they are. It just says chrome-covered humbucker. And then, of course, we have the push-pull on the tone and the volume, no push-pull. And at this point, it would be nice to know what the humbuckers are, but it's kind of irrelevant because they sound great. And if something sounds great, we don't really need to know why it sounds great. Although, I will measure the output of these DC resistance in a little bit, just because I'm curious. Let's get some Boss SD1 on the go and get something a bit more gainy. And then I'll switch that out for an Iron Horse rat style and a Big Muff in a bit to get even more filthy. Sounds brilliant. Can I draw attention once more to the fact that it is in tune with itself, and I'm still surprised. I was scared of this guitar being out of tune instantly. I have zero worries. If that was on a list of worries for you, or if you don't know that this can happen, some guitars do that. This one doesn't. Now, I haven't messed with this pulley switch yet, so let's find out what that does. I'm not entirely sure what that's doing. Right. Okay. It's not splitting the neck pickup, it's only splitting the bridge. There's a wonderful little vocal sound when you change that. Okay, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Let me check on the website. One volume, one tone with push-pull coil split. It doesn't say that it's just on the bridge. It's definitely. Let me know in the comments. There's nothing happening on that neck pickup, right? Yep, it is not doing anything on the neck. That's fine. Let's see how it fills up, because it is crunching and rocking really well. I've got a suspicion it might do distortion well. Okay, bridge first. Pickups start to get a little bit microphonic there. Uh,
Hello, it's Andy here, talking through the Hartwood 56. Hello? Hello?
that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just might be if you're on stage with lots and lots of distortion. But I kind of like microphonic pickups sometimes because they have that, oh, I hate these words. They have that more acoustic, open quality that you don't get if it's all locked down. It's more vintage, and that's what this is. Drop D. It is absolutely spot on that bridge. A little bit woolly, fluffy on the neck and middle position, which I like, but might get lost in a mix. Adjust everything to taste. I dig that. I want to fuzz it, see if this riffs. It feels like a really small guitar, so it feels like I want to throw it around a stage. Fuzz. It's beautifully discordant. The whole guitar is vibrating and interacting with itself, and it's not a piece of wood that's been killed. It's a piece. There's a live piece of wood in here somewhere, and it's bursting out. Maybe I'm too excited, but it sounds and feels brilliant. It is still in tune. It is a riff machine. It makes me want to play guitar, and that is a great guitar. For 250 notes, what an absolute stunner. I'm so shocked. Aesthetically, it's not perfect, but I don't care. I just want to point out the fact that the binding down here, there's a little bit of paint overlap there, and at the headstock. I don't care. What you're getting for that is unbelievable. Hartwood, you have knocked it out of the park. Now, I did promise a DC resistance test, but at this point, I don't care. It's a phenomenal guitar, but I will do it. And to be clear, when I say I don't care, I mean I don't think it affects the result of this guitar. It doesn't matter what these numbers are. It feels, sounds, reacts, and plays beautifully. But I am also interested in the numbers a little bit. Turns out I do care. Right, bridge first. 8.1. Yes. 7.5 on the neck. And 3.9 in the middle. Let's actually test that. Oh no, I had the thing pulled out. Oh. Oh my goodness. It's 16 down the bottom. Right, let's do that again in humbucker mode. This explains a lot. Right, 16 on the bridge. On the neck, 7.5. In the middle, 5.1. And then if I pull that out, 3.9 in the middle and 8.1 down at the bottom on the bridge. Here's the test to see if that did anything. That's in split coil mode. That's on 7.5. Yeah, nothing changes. Phew, my ears are okay. Now, I don't know if that's a fault or the guitar's supposed to be like that. So if you have one of these, please let us all know in the comments section. I think that the strength of this guitar is not in that split coilness. I think that's a bonus feature on the bridge, although as it's included, it should be working. I don't know if it's splitting that and it's just for some reason not working. I'll go back to my previous statement. I don't care. It's brilliant. 250 notes. Now weight-wise, it doesn't feel much, but I'm thinking it might dive on the old headstock there. So let's put a strap on the old thing and have a little jump around. Right, strap is on. It feels like I'm ready to go on stage. It is diving a little bit. There's not much there. It's more than a Strat. It's far less than an SG. I think if I lengthen that strap a bit, it's sitting pretty nicely. Ergonomically, this is superb. I'm really, really into that. Let's weigh it. All right, okay, here we have 3.5 kilos, which is 7 pounds, 10 hamburgers. Yeah, I mean, it's a small body. It's not super light, but it is not a heavy guitar. Does that make sense? What I mean is, you could pick that up, it could be closer to 3 kilos. There's enough weight there to think that you've got a weapon, but not too much weight to think that you might actually send someone to the beyond with it. I dig this guitar. I would normally round up this review at this point and give you all the things that make me either impressed or unimpressed. I don't think I need to. I think I've covered it all in this video. If you like the color, if you like the design of a vintage guitar, if you're interested in something with a vibrato and you want sounds that are vintage rock and roll inspired, this will do it, and it does it well. I don't think it needs any upgrades either. I would keep the pickup. If you're one of those people that wonders if they should buy a guitar and instantly upgrade the pickups because there's no name brand in there, take this guitar as it is and enjoy it for every little penny you've spent on it. Amazing. Right, there are links to this in the video description and first comment so you can find it. I recommend that you do. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.